Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again here to the old schoolhouse in the village, in the hamlet of Butterstone in Perthshire for another one of our wee Saturday night half-hour concerts. I'd like you to welcome to the stage the wonderful Tatty Faces, who looking very dapper tonight. And I thought I would start with this. And most of you will know that it's terrible weather outside. Actually, the weather's been terrible. It's just it's starting to get cold in the old schoolhouse here now. But it's been a terrible weather this week. But most of you will know that at the moment in Glasgow, this is the beginning weekend of the COP26, the climate change conference. And Glasgow's going crazy. I mean, the whole of, Anyway, so I thought I would start off by singing this wee song of mine to kind of welcome all the world leaders to Scotland. And I wrote this a number of years ago, and I had this idea that, because we were doing terrible things, we have been doing terrible things to this beautiful place of ours, But I had this idea that kind of humanity would kind of suddenly come to their senses and come back to Mother Earth and kind of say they were sorry, and that they would change their ways. And so I wrote this song, and it's got a chorus. So we might as well start singing choruses from the get-go here, from the beginning. And so make a wee bit of noise with this if you can get the chorus. Intro notes, Mr. Tatty Face, beautiful. There are changes that have led us to this place. Oh, some formed from our wonder, and some from our disgrace. But that doesn't help the way we feel. Oh, we're standing in the center of a broken wheel. But I'll change my ways. I'll do anything you say. And I'll be your loving one. Yes, I'll be your loving one. From the point of no return, I'll be your loving one. That's what you sing. Will we try again? Yeah. And I'll be your loving one. Yes, I'll be your loving one. From the point of no return, I'll be your loving one. Oh, our gardens, we nearly turned them into sand. To hell with all excuses. Oh, we just don't understand that it's not ours to do with as we will. It's for the future of our children and their dreams to fill. But I'll change my ways. I'll do anything you say, and I'll be your loving one. Try it. I'll be your loving one. From the point of no return, I'll be your loving one. Da 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 da, da 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 da. There's no future, we're certain of the past, but it's only in the present that the perfect dream will last. And as we watch our chances slip away, oh, we stand in the horizon of a brand new day. And I'll change my ways, I'll do anything you say, and I'll be your loving one. Get a bit of noise going. Yes, I'll be your loving one. From the point of no return, I'll be your loving one. You want to try singing it on your own? Yeah, I think you should try singing it on your own. We'll get that wee global choir going. A wee COP26 global choir. Here we go. And I'll be That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I think we should do it again, and if you all sing loud enough, maybe they'll all hear us down in Glasgow as they are all arriving. All these important people. Here we go again. And I'll be There are changes that have led us to this place. Oh, some formed from our wonder, and some from our disgrace. But that doesn't help the way we feel. Oh, we're standing in the center of a broken wheel. But I'll change my ways, I'll do anything you say, oh, and I'll be your loving one. Yes, I'll be your loving one. From the point of no return, I'll be your loving one. Thank you very much, and that was my wee song, I'll Be Your Loving One, and the singing was fantastic, wasn't it? Wasn't it, guys? The singing was fantastic. You might be wondering what they've got on their heads there. I'll explain to you in a wee minute, but before we do that, I thought I would do this song. My daughter Julia asked me if I would sing this song. It's an old song of mine. But it seemed to me that most of our problems all kind of start off, well, they all come from greed, basically. And it's one of our unfortunate traits as human beings. And so I wrote this song a number of years ago, and I thought I would have a wee go. It's not a song I sing very often, but I thought it was might be quite kind of relevant to try a wee version of it tonight. And so we'll try it and see if it got on. Shame, shame on you ruthless self-made man. Oh, you've loaded your ambitions on the children of this land. Shame, shame on your great eternal plan. It's your own diseased direction. You'll get there anyway. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. And shame, shame, you see our lives a marketplace. Oh, we're all consumer units in your greedy little race. Shame, shame on your vision of our life. And your friends are carved with conquest on the handle of your knife. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. And shame, shame on your cool stock city guile. Or you're pressed into your business suit and you're polished to your smile. Shame, shame on your brute dishonesty. You manipulate the numbers but don't intend to set them free. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people on your ruthless self-made man. Oh, you've loaded your ambitions on the children of this land. And shame, shame on your great eternal plan. It's your own diseased direction. You'll get there any way you can. Oh, but we can see. Try singing it with me. You now, you can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. Thank you very much, and that's my very old song, Shame, which was a pretty angry when I wrote that. Actually, it's kind of interesting to interesting as a songwriter to kind of revisit the angry moments, the angry moments of your youth, you know, which is kind of encapsulated into a song, you know, and. Anyway, I thought I would do this wee song now. This is the place where I normally do a song with a chorus. Before I do that, I have to explain to you that this is the weekend that we'd normally do. Next weekend's when we normally would have done our Perthshire Amber Festival. And we might still do a couple of wee things. We don't know. There's things that might happen, and there's a lot on next weekend, so we don't know. But one of the big things about our festival was the big knit. And it was started by my mother, and it was just getting everybody together to kind of knit things, and we would auction them for our charity, which we do a lot for, which is the Serenians in Edinburgh, which is a homeless charity, and. But we thought we could keep that going, you know, because it's been such a great fun. And we've been inundated with knitting from all over the world, which is brilliant. Now, you can see all this stuff on the Perthshire Amber website, and it's all got a kind of wee number on it, and you can buy one, and it all goes towards the charity. And I think that Jenny put them up. Like Jenny and the Tatty Faces have all been helping out in the shed, sorting all the stuff out and taking photographs. And you can see it all on the Perthshire Amber website. I think there's a wee section there, and you can go and buy a hat or a pair of gloves or something, and it's a great idea. And there's links on Facebook as well, yeah. And Duncan was wanting to help, and he said he would model one of the hats, and there was a beautiful hat came yesterday, and I says, today the hat came, yeah. And I said to Duncan, yes, you can model a hat. And then he came back to me, he says, his only problem is, he says, I'm not taking my other hat off. He says, I'm going to put it on, so he's got it on top of his other. Now, I think he might have something there. It's got quite a good look. It's quite a good kind of tatty bogle look. And I've got one here, which I'm going to wear for this song. Just as this is wonderful, because it's a honeybee hat, and my bees did so well this year, I thought I would just wear it. So, and the wee ones, yeah, wee Teeny's got one of them as well. So we'll have a wee go at this, and it's. So this, as soon as we're getting towards Halloween, I thought I would sing this because it's kind of like. And all you have to sing. This is my version of a kind of night visiting song, and you sing, will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? And actually, the weather outside is just perfect for singing this song because it's that kind of night out there. It's certainly a Halloween night. So we'll try it and see how we go on. Make a wee bit of noise with it. And this is what you sing. You sing, will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? Okay? That's the chorus. A lot of you already know this, but there might be some new people tuning in, so we'll do it again so I know you've got it nailed, and we can get our global choir up to speed. Here we go. Will you hear me if I'm calling On this wild and windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night, when I may lose my way back home, lose the signs that I've been shown, wander helpless through the storm, all alone. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild and windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night, when I may lose the sense to run, finish what I've not begun, fading with the winter sun, everything undone. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild and windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night, when I may lose the sense to dream, for nothing is the way it seems, and all the places I have been, forever unseen. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild and windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night. This is where you sing it on your own. You all ready? Here we go. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild beautiful. And we'll do it again with harmonies and things. So I'll give you a wee bit of time just to grab a mouthful of whatever you've got poured into that glass in front of your laptop or wherever you're watching this, or your phone or wherever you're watching this from. So get a wee mouthful of it and we'll see if we can just get it perfect. Will you hear me if nothing ever calms the fear, out of sight but always near, waiting for the sky to clear, I will disappear. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night, one last time. Will you hear me if I'm calling? On this wild and windy night, will you catch me if I'm falling? On this wild and windy night, on this wild and windy night. Thank you very much. And that was absolutely beautiful. I'm getting the vibes here and on the walls of this old For those of you who have just tuned in, maybe the first time, this is the old school in Botterstone. It was just about 10 houses, and this was the old village school where all the rural kids came, and I went to school here, and my father went to school in this room in the 1930s, and now I think it's brilliant that we've got this kind of, we're doing all these broadcasts from our old school to the whole planet. We've renamed it now. We call it a global streaming theatre, and but it's brilliant. And so I thought I would finish off with something for a bit of fun, and this is, seeing as it's Halloween, I've been writing wee songs for my grandkids, and this actually turned out to be a little bit maybe too dark for kids. But I wrote this wee song for Duncan Tattyface here, because he's and he's a tatty bogle, and this is the time of year that tatty bogles are just this is their time of year, and the tatty bogle was just a scarecrow, goes out and frightens things and keeps your garden, keeps the birds away from your garden, so this is a bit of fun, and I just thought I'd finish this scene as it's Halloween tomorrow, and Duncan was thrilled when I said I was going to sing this. It's got a kind of chorus, so you could probably sing. Yeah, well, I'll teach you the chorus. It's not really a chorus, but we could turn it into a chorus. This is not something that I do very often. And my apologies to any banjo players who are watching. I just learnt to play banjo during lockdown, and I'm really enjoying that it doesn't always go as I planned. So we'll try it. I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. You could sing that as a chorus. You want to try that as a chorus? I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. My name is Duncan Tattyface. Oh, I'm a tatty of this place. I frighten crows, I frighten pigeons too. There isn't any frightening that I can't do. Oh, I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. If your cabbages are under threat, don't be afraid, all's not lost yet. Just call the tatty bogle man and see. He'll fix your cabbages and all the rest for a small fee. I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. So, Mr. Tives. Chorus one more time. Oh, I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Thank you very much. I have not gone mad. It's just that I like to have a little bit of fun with my music, and that's why I like to do these silly things. And so I hope you've enjoyed their half hour. I wish all the best to all the people going down to COP 26, and I hope they manage to kind of work something out. I also would like to take a little time always in these shows to thank all the NHS workers and all the doctors and nurses and carers and all the people who are still out there kind of looking after us all, making sure that everything's kind of working, giving us our booster jags and all the things. Just taking care of what's been a crazy couple of years, and I hope you're all still looking after each other and taking care of each other, staying cheery, being happy, singing. There's a new song you can sing, I'm a Tatty Bogle Man. That's it, that if you want to cheer yourself up. It's the most depressing. It's got a very dark kind of, I liked it because it's got a very dark kind of mood to it. You know, it's kind of, I'm your tatty. Yeah, so it kind of fits in with the kind of vibe of Halloween. Anyway, thank you very much to the wonderful Tatty Faces. Thanks to Duncan and Teeny for modelling the hats. If you fancy getting a hat, you go over to Perthshire Amber. You'll get all the information there, and there's mitts and there's all kinds of things. And we've raised it. I think we've sold about £700 worth of knitting so far, which is just within 24 hours, which is wonderful. And you can just leave a donation as well if you want. It all goes into the Cyreneans. There's a Cyreneans charity thing that it all goes into, so you'll see it if you go and look at the information there. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the wee half hour. Night, and I'll see you all next weekend. Keep your eyes open on the Facebook, because the night might change next weekend because there's a couple of things happening, and we might even have an extra show next weekend. We'll just see what happens. It's a kind of Perthshire Amber weekend, and I might invite a few friends round, and we'll see what we might try and make a simple thing. But anyway, if not, we won't plan it, but we'll leave it to become a very spontaneous thing. So, night, you all take care again, and and I'll see you all further on. Bye-bye.